Good morning, Craig Breslow.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. It's as much as I tell myself that it's not wise to kind of live and die with every game. Last night was a good one. Last night was fun.
Yeah, I mean, nothing better than the walk-off, and this team is hanging around and still in it. And so a quick question about when it comes to the subject of Tyler O'Neill. That guy is on a one-year deal here. I'm assuming that's somebody that you guys will look to talk to postseason and would like to see stay around here.
Yeah, we'll obviously start to engage in those conversations, but I think we've all acknowledged that right-handed power plays really well at Fenway Park, and he's been a great fit. He's been a really productive hitter when he's been able to stay on the field, and I think we're seeing that right now. He's been on quite a hot streak, and he has the ability to carry this team and change games with a single swing.
Craig, when you look at where you are right now, 16 games left in the season, you're 4 games out of that third wild card spot. I understand you were able to win one last night with a walk-off, but what's the morale like in that clubhouse with the players, with Alex Cora? What's the message that you guys are pushing kind of with this last little stretch?
Yeah, I think Alex all season has done a great job of keeping the group focused on the field and, ignoring the noise, the adversity, the injuries. I think that's one of the benefits in a lot of ways of a young team. Guys that kind of show up every day don't really know any better. And, I think Alex's message has been these games matter, right? Let's try to play our best baseball. Let's keep winning games. And we can't control what happens around us, but, we've got to make it, we've got a chance to make this interesting, and we're going to do that by continuing to play good baseball.
Craig, in the same breath of talking about Tyler O'Neill, the future of Nick Pivetta seems up in the air with him and the Red Sox. What do you hope to see out of him, because he has come up big for you guys this season?
Yeah, he's been a really effective pitcher in this league for a long time. Someone that I have a tremendous amount of respect for, and someone that I think he has talked about. He's talked about how much he's enjoyed his time here. So, another guy that we're obviously going to have conversations around, and he's got a bit of a unique profile in the rotation as it's currently constituted, because he's got so much swing and miss to his game, which we saw last night and we've seen time and time again is the most effective way to get outs. His ability to generate swings and misses with his fastball and his breaking ball is something that we really, really value. And he's been a really good starter for us all season.
We love Liam Hendriks on this show, and I know he had some soreness after the rehab start, or I guess the 2 starts in Worcester. And Alex Cora said the other day that it's getting close to time to make the decision that he won't pitch for the Sox this season as he had hoped. A little bit about what you've seen from him as he's tried to come back from that surgery.
Yeah, so super competitive, outspoken, great personality, really a great guy to have around the clubhouse and have around the team. And, he was adamant that he wanted to get back in 2025 and felt like he could kind of push the timeline. And in a lot of ways, he's done so. He didn't recover quite as well as I think he would have hoped and the medical staff would have hoped coming out of a couple of those games. So we just wanted to press pause and catch our breath a little bit. The good news is that there's no structural issues with the elbow, with the graft. We just want to make sure that we're balancing being responsible and thinking a bit about the longer term with the potential for him to impact our team in 2025. So, I think we'll continue to monitor that, check in with him, check in with the medical staff, and make a determination as to kind of what's best for him.
Craig, why do these teams led by Cora have good first halves and then every year have a massive swoon following the All-Star break or the deadline? Why does this keep happening? You were 11 games over 500. Now you're back down to 2. You've been back down around 500. What is the common thread?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. It's one we need to answer, though. I don't think that this is an Alex Cora thing. I think this is, something that requires us to look at the composition of the roster, to look at the workloads, to make sure that I and we in the office are, bringing in enough depth that we can weather injuries, bumps and bruises, that we're still pushing development so that guys are better in the second half than they are in the first. And those are all of the questions that we need to be asking. I think, one good example here would be pitching, right? Where we came out of the gates pitching really, really well, largely built on the back of heavy spin usage, heavy secondary usage, and avoiding fastballs. And then there was a period of time where, it seemed pretty obvious that the league had adjusted, that our mistakes in the zone were getting hit, particularly our breaking balls. And maybe we didn't adjust as quickly as we should have. That's something as an organization we have to make sure we're staying on top of, is identifying these trends and trying to be a little bit more proactive. But those are questions that we are asking of ourselves and will continue to ask. At the end of the day, though, I would just reiterate that I don't think that's an Alex Cora thing. I think that the responsibility falls on all of us.
Would you say then, was it on you for not doing more at the deadline?
I suppose in some ways the answer to that could be yes. It's impossible to forecast, what the performance or health will be of guys that you bring in. But at the time, given the information that we had, we executed what we thought was a successful deadline in terms of wanting to add to the bullpen, wanting to add to the rotation, wanting to add a right-handed bat. Obviously, unfortunately, 3/4 of that group, ended up on the IL, and that's something that we couldn't have predicted.
Well, Craig, with that being said, I know we're still in the season, but is there going to be a big push by front office and ownership to really be big players in the I don't want to say free agent market just necessarily, but going after maybe elite players this off season?
Yeah, I think I said it last year, I'll say it again. We have to be open to all paths to improving the team. Obviously, we've still got 16 games and hopefully more left, and that's where our focus is right now. But I think regardless, one thing we can take from 2024 is the development on the field of a core group of players that we should be building around. And the recipe for success here for a long time has been drafting and developed homegrown talent while also supplementing that via free agency and trade. And I don't see a reason for that to change.
Craig, we didn't get the opportunity to ask anybody about this last week for the front office report, but Rafael Devers made headlines last week when he didn't talk to media. I just was wondering your feelings behind that. I know Alex Cora is standing behind his decision not to talk to media, but is there a policy within the Red Sox organization for players to talk? And what is Rafael Devers' reasoning for not wanting to talk to members of the press?
Yeah, no, I think it would be unfair for me to speak, on behalf of or for Rafi. What I can say is, I know this is a guy who, goes out there and plays every day despite not feeling 100%, despite, not wanting to make a big deal out of the fact that, he probably would benefit from, or would have benefited from some time away. He's a guy that wants to be out there on the field competing for his teammates. And, there are times when, there are frustrations or disappointments in performance, either individually or as a team. And, some people in those moments choose to, stand in front of the media and answer questions, and others don't. And I don't know that, this is kind of quite the story that it became. I think we accept, that Rafi is a phenomenal player who has the chance to have a Hall of Fame career. And there are days where he's going to answer questions, and there are days where he isn't. And I'm not sure that has kind of this outsized impact that others would maybe believe it to have.
James Paxton told our guy Rob Bradford that he plans to retire at the end of the season. Has he shared that with the organization as well?
Yeah, so we had talked about that kind of in in the aftermath of the injury, and how that was not the way that he or anyone else wanted to stare down retirement. And so, as a credit to him, he's still showing up every day and going through rehab, with the hopes of coming back in the postseason, helping us. I think that's a great motivation. Hopefully, we can do our part, and we can kind of realize that together.
You'd probably get Rich Hill back again next year if necessary. Oh, I don't get it. No, not even allowed. Not even a chuckle on that one.
I gave it a chuckle.
All right.
You better ask him his top 3 bands.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Pearl Jam Sunday and Tuesday. I'm going Tuesday. Are you going either or both nights? That is your favorite band.
It is my favorite band. I am definitively not going on Sunday. I'm actually going to head down to New York Tuesday, TBD.
Okay.
And so I feel like this moment has been building for the last 6 months, and I'm disappointing so many people if I don't actually end up going. But I will figure that out.
I mean, you and I, maybe we hang out in the pit Tuesday night.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I couldn't think of anything else that I'd rather be doing.
Greg will be there Tuesday and Wednesday. If you don't make it Tuesday, he'll be there for Post Malone Wednesday.
Post Malone, TBD. Yeah. All right, Craig, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good morning.
All right, there he is, Craig Breslow.